Yeah, empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my.
All right, you guys. I'm late as hell, but I am finally live. Welcome back to Snack Cackle Talk, and I am your host, Lacey. Today is Relationship Saturday, and I know y'all see that topic. I know y'all see that topic. So I'm going to give y'all time to jump on board because I want to hear what y'all got to say. Okay. As you all know, on Saturdays, I do relationship topics, and today's topic is Mrs. Right versus Miss Right now. Okay, Miss Right now. Um, so I'm gonna go over just a few things that separates the two. Okay, kind of help these guys out on finding Mrs. Right instead of continuing to jump in the Mrs. Right now relationships. Okay.
The fun has arrived. I was
Oh
gonna sing it like in
Lord.
Tarzan, but too late.
uh, as I was saying, for those of you that are new to my channel, okay, I want to go ahead and welcome you guys to my channel. Um, if you guys have not done so already, I invite you guys to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Uh, other than that, let's get right on into this topic, okay? Because I'm going to make this quick because I got other things that I am interested in. I'm sorry, my face itching, and I'm trying not to scratch my face. I have other things that I want to do today. So today's topic is, like I said, Mrs. Right versus Miss Right now. So let's get into it. Okay, so is it true that all men have at least two women?
I don't know, but Three's
Is the
Company.
is the Miss Right the one that they want to invest the time
I
in?
don't know, Miss Lacey, but Three's Company is a terrific show.
But they were both Miss Right now
No, they wasn't.
on the show.
Janet was his best friend, and Chrissy was there.
Neither one of them were wife material for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
Miss.
that's because in the end he seen them as his best friends. So when some people don't cross that line when they're your best friend, then
I'm a firm believer of that. You should not. I'm a firm believer.
because you can mess up a friendship like that.
Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so my research says that men have two types of women, not in their life, but they may have to use to choose from considerations, options. The Mrs. Right, the one that he's willing to invest in, whether it's his time, his energy, his money, his worth, his what he's built, what he's willing to build with, all those things. And then there's the Mrs. Right now. The Mrs. Right now is just the person that he lays up with. Does that sound about right? You're a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's my little research over here. I'm gonna look over here, okay? So my little research over here gives me the difference between these two females of the Mrs. Right and the Mrs. Right now. Okay. So the Mrs. Right, she exudes long term commitment. She has a long term mindset. She adds peace to the relationship. She adds worth. Um, and she basically adds partnership and growth. She's willing to also invest in the man. Okay. So that's going to be the Mrs. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what it says for the Mrs. Right now. The Mrs. Right now, she's the feel good in the moment. That sound about right? Okay. And she's going to be the fun, exciting, adventurous, outgoing, um, low responsibility, meaning the man doesn't hold any responsibility to the Mrs. Right now. That sound right too? Okay. And then you have she has little to no long-term vision. I could see that. She's the fast cash, basically.
I should eat that cake.
You sleepy? Oh my goodness.
Eat the cake, anime.
The cake he's talking about. See, I still have my cake. We went to Nothing But Cake, and this is my snack today. I've never had this cake right here. This is a Oreo cookie and cream.
This is the snack and snack capital.
Now, what he had, his is gone. He had the banana pudding cake. He wanted to try that. Okay, so also the Mrs. Right now, she's a person of convenience. Is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, I can see that. Oh, she's gonna be that one phone call away, the booty call, as they call her.
That's when your girlfriend ain't acting right. You call your other girlfriend that.
The Miss Right Now.
One that ain't gonna say no.
Oh, okay, so there we go. Okay, so one builds your future while the other one distracts you from it. There you go.
Baby, my hair hurt. Okay.
You gonna give her a call.
Ladies do it.
Okay, so is it easy for a man to confuse the two? Can you see a man getting confused over the Mrs. Right versus, so that the only way I can see if a man gets confused about the Mrs. Right versus the Miss Right, the Miss Right now would be the 80-20 rule.
Yeah. What's the 80-20 rule?
Mrs. Right is going to give you 80%, and Miss Right now only going to give you 20.
I'm pretty sure you done told me about the 80-20.
The man gets excited with the Miss Right now because she's giving him that 20% he's missing.
The grass ain't green on the other side of things.
Right.
Get over there and it's artificial turf.
Shit. Not only that, it's what's that spray fertilizer that they spray on the grass to make it look healthy?
It's artificial turf. Fake grass.
Fake grass. That's the Miss Right Now. Fake grass. She's that 20% of that 100 that he's missing that 20. The wife is giving him Mrs. Right is giving him that 80. And he's getting confused, thinking that 20 is what he needs.
Dudes get confused only when the girl that he's talking to on the side is a good person. You know, they turn out to be good people, so it turns, you kind of catch feelings a little bit.
Okay, so what would term her as a Miss Right Now?
Because that's what she started out as a jump off. And then when you know,
is that really what she started out as, or is that the category that the man put her in?
9 times out of 10, that's what they start out as. It's just y'all have an agreement. And it's like, look, this is just about sex, and then it turns into more than that because the other person ends up being a good person.
Okay, so.
But 7 out of 10 times they're what they are, jump on.
So can a Miss Right Now turn into a Miss Right? You know that turn a hoe into a housewife.
Sure.
You know that term can she be converted into?
Because I mean,
Mrs. Right.
She wouldn't be once you figure out that she's a good person, then she wouldn't be considered a hoe. If she's a hoe, you treat her like that.
Okay.
I mean, the whores thing goes both ways. I mean, dude could be a hoe too.
Well, of course.
We just bad at it. We get caught. That's why we get caught all the time.
Definitely. So I was just kind of curious with this topic or whatever. Trying to figure out the difference because you got a lot of men that get confused over Mrs. Right versus Miss Right now, and they'll leave Mrs. Right because Miss Right now is giving them 20% of what they're missing, and then they'll leave Miss Right now altogether. They'll leave that 80% for that 20, but then later on, you find out that she was only giving you 20%. So, okay, so it says right here that Mrs. Right communicates clearly, respects the boundaries, she supports your purpose, and consistent effort. Okay, but from what I'm hearing on social media, they act like that's not what Miss Right gives.
What you always gave me.
I'm your Miss Right. We talking about other people. Like the outside of the window looking in, because that's basically what you're doing when you're looking at it on social media. Is you're on the outside looking in.
I can't speak for those people.
Okay, and the Miss Right now, she's hot, cold energy is what she delivers. She keeps things surface level, avoids serious conversations, and shows up when it benefits her or him. They could have added that.
That's not right.
Because
that's not right.
Yeah, is it?
You don't hear from them until they want something. Like, what the fuck you want?
Or she could literally be that booty call. Like she literally could be on hold basically. That speed dial. She might not necessarily want nothing.
They do that. Hey, it's like the ones that's selfish like that. I mean, you can't be selfish because you already dabbling in the sin of flesh.
Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. Well, it says here that consistency is the wifey and confusion is the temporary. That's what this says. Okay, so signs you're dealing with the Miss Right now. You would
the
think
main one is calling you when it's convenient.
You would think that a guy is gonna know that he's dealing with a Miss Right now.
You should, unless you're a simp.
Okay, in this situation, would the simp be the person that wouldn't usually get the girl so easily? So he just falling for whatever?
Any man could be a simp. It could be because of how she looked. She'd be just pretty.
His eyes are shielded by the beauty. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got that part. Okay, so signs you're dealing with Miss Right now. You don't see a future with this person, but you stay anyway. Oh man, yeah. I can see that. Mm-hmm. But because you already know you wasting your time, but she's just there until something better comes along or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. Conversations lack depth. I don't know. A Miss Right now can give you some good conversations. Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't have to be. What's this? What's the word I'm looking for? Like they don't have to lack that communication skills just because they're temporary. Because some of these Miss Right Nows, they get possessive into thinking that they are the Mrs. Right, but they're not. Signs that you're dealing with a Miss Right now is it's mostly physical or convenience based. wouldn't be mostly, it probably would be 100% all physical. You would think, right? Like the relationship is just purely a physical sexual relationship, and especially like if you do it and you get up and you leave, like that's all there is, right? I mean, that's what I see. Or you feel drained and not grounded with this person. I can see that too. I could definitely see that. But at the same time, this whole conversation has a gray area because you do got guys falling for the miss right now because they're confused, thinking that that little 20% is it outweighs that 80 that they're already getting. Okay, why men keep miss right now around? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so fear of being alone. If you have someone that's a consistency in your life, like if you have a girlfriend, but you're cheating on her with somebody that's temporary, it's not a fear of being alone at that point. Either it's something that the girlfriend's not delivering, or you just want variety. Right? I mean, that's what I think. Comfort over growth. Uh, okay, only for a man that I could see that being for a man that don't want to settle down. Then they're always gonna keep a side piece, and they're gonna let the girlfriend pretty much know they ain't ready to settle down. If they telling you they're not ready to settle down, 9 times out of 10, especially if you're in a long-term relationship with this person and they're telling you that they're not ready to settle down, then it's usually because they haven't narrowed it down yet. And you're still not the one just yet. Like they still weighing their options just in case something better comes along. Because I'm a firm believer that if you're with a person, whether you're a male or a female, you should know at least within the first year for sure, 2 years guaranteed, if you can see yourself being with that person to settle down. I don't know how people can date 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years and not be married unless and it's just a choice. But it's usually not a mutual choice. It's usually one-sided. And the other person is just settling. What you think?
Yeah.
I mean, we got married kind of fast. You knew before me. So I just kind of feel like a guy knows if she's wife material or not early on. Avoiding emotional responsibility. I could see a guy keeping a miss right now around because it's to avoid the responsibility. But what happens when you knock her up? You know what I'm saying? You can't give hell. That's worse than having a wife that you don't want no more. You can't get rid of these damn baby mamas. Once you knock them up, you stuck with them. And keeping, like I said, keeping our options open. Like they still out there playing the field. That right there, I could see that being the main number one reason why you would keep a miss right now around. And it ain't out of fear of being alone. It's because you're not done. You're not done playing the field. I could see that being the number one reason. Okay, so the cost of confusing Mrs. Right with Mrs. Right now is it says here that you miss out on real love when you end up with Mrs. Right now because of, it's like going to the what they call it, the City of Lights, where if you're gonna compare New Orleans with Vegas, would that be a good comparison?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're gonna compare New Orleans with Vegas, and Vegas would be the Mrs. Right because you're a person that's looking for what would I call it? Bright lights, extravagance, and all this stuff, but somehow you end up in New Orleans. and it's Mardi Gras. So you just fall in love with Mardi Gras. And you just think that that's Miss Right, but it is really Mardi Gras is seasonal, right? Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm using this in the correct metaphor because I will mess this up. So Mardi Gras, you fall in love with Mardi Gras because that's where you end up at. Even though you was intending to go to Vegas, you end up in New Orleans. Mardi Gras is going on. You fall in love with Mardi Gras. So you want to stay down there, and then all of a sudden, once Mardi Gras is over, then ain't nothing there in New Orleans. Ain't nothing going on. That's that 20%. That's that 20%. So now you feeling like, okay, I gotta get to Vegas and see what's that. I want to go to Vegas, see what's happening in Vegas. So now you go to Vegas, and you're like, okay, Mardi Gras come back around, and you like you're torn between the two. No, you're not torn. Mardi Gras is the 20%. That only it's a seasonal thing. It's the same thing for Mrs. Right Now. She's seasonal. Did I use that metaphor correctly? I feel like I did. I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I know it kind of sounded a little words tangling up or whatever, confusing. But Vegas will be the Mrs. Right because that's just how she is. When you get there, she's always gonna be like that. that's how you would compare Mrs. Right. You would compare her to Vegas. She's always gonna be bright light. She's always gonna be popping. She's always gonna be entertaining. Why you fell in love with Mardi Gras? That's seasonal. I don't know. Why you confused the two? I don't know. Because Mardi Gras is not all year round. Every time you go to New Orleans, it's not gonna be Mardi Gras. It's gonna die down. What does it last? Like a week or two?
I believe so, yeah.
And then ain't nothing. There you have it. So I hope I used that in the correct metaphoric term. Let's see. So I think I kind of asked this question, like, can someone start out as Mrs. Right now and become Mrs. Right? She can. I guess for the right person. For the right person, she can. And it's the same thing for a guy. A guy can be he can change his ways for the right woman. Okay. A woman can't change the man. The man will change for the woman. Is it wrong to keep someone around just for that moment? No. No, it's not wrong. Because everybody's got to be entertained. Now, if that person don't want to be kept around while you're fiddle-daddling around, that's up to that person to put their foot down and say, hey, I'm not the one. Either you choose me or you don't. Leave me alone. But is that other person wrong that if Mrs. Right Now allows a man to string her along when she actually wants to be in a relationship with that person? Is he wrong for stringing her along, or is she wrong for allowing it? That's how I see it. He's not wrong for stringing her along as long as she's allowing it. Because I'm a believer that you do what your relationship allows you to do. That's how I see it. Have you ever lost Mrs. Right because you were chasing a Mrs. Right Now? That's a good question. That would be a good question. I'm quite sure a lot of guys can probably say yes. I'm probably sure a lot of females could probably say yes. Whether it happened with you in a male female relationship or two females, I'm sure that you chose while you was chasing the right now, you lost the Mrs. or Mr. Right. I could see that happening. Okay. Okay. I'm already nearing the end of my life. So if you guys have made it this far in my life and you have not, click that like button, subscribe, or if you're not following me on any of my platforms, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, take a moment out of your day and do that. I am on here every Saturday
Every Saturday.
for relationship topics.
For relationship topics.
He get on my nerves, y'all. He's supposed to be my guest on here. We're hearing crickets right now. Uh-huh. Okay, so it says that the difference isn't just in the woman, it's in the man's mindset. Is that true? I'm not a man. Okay, because the same woman, one man wastes, another man marries. That is so true. I mean, just because she wasn't your treasure doesn't mean that she won't be a treasure to someone else. That's how you see that. She was your right now because she wasn't right for you. But she might be right for somebody else. She just has to figure out who that is, unfortunately. She has to figure out who that is. Okay, so I am going to end my live because now I am going to hop on to my husband's toy review channel. I invite you guys to go on there. Babe, what's the name of your toy review channel?
Lacey's Collectibles Plus.
Is that actually what they type in? That's on Instagram?
Yep.
Lacey's Collectibles Plus.
On YouTube, it's just Brian Lacey.
Okay, and on YouTube is Brian Lacey. I'm just to hop on there and do his toy review. So if you guys are interested in watching me do toy reviews, hey, scurry on over there. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Bye.